There's Dead Greed.
Hello.
How's it going?
Well, a lot better now that I didn't mute myself.
That so works.
All right, there it is. 1, 2, 3. How's my sound?
You are good, I think. I don't have my recorder on yet, but I think you're
Oh, wait a
alright.
minute. I know I'm good. How's my sound?
Your sound is your sound, sir.
Throw it down here.
Alright, Reckles, you're in game, but trying to get a hold of him on Skype, dang it. Can't play that online. We get into too much trouble.
I don't know if you can hear mine or not.
Yeah.
Come on, man. You can't have these freaking... Ah, come on now. Although this is pretty good. Alright.
Come on, Reckles.
What song is this?
I am going to go get my phone, see if I can't reach him there.
I know earlier he said he wasn't feeling good and he was going to lay down. He did say he was going to be back for show, but that don't mean...
Yeah. Try to be back for show. Alright. And Haba's not going to be on. She's got too much stuff going on there at her house, so not too worried about that. But I'm getting a couple of loot cards. I think one this week and one maybe next week. So that's going to be very, very fun to reveal, I think. And I know the one will be, but I'm not sure about the other one.
Okay, dang it. Siri doesn't know this song.
I'll be right back.
Alright.
Ah, yes, phone sounds.
Yeah.
Turn that TV a little bit. Football going on too. It's over. You're about to find out as soon as we start the show. At least some of the ways. Anyway.
Hell yeah.
That's the one thing. The other thing has not yet been confirmed yet. But it looks like that's going to be shipped hopefully today. So I won't get it till about next week. The one that I showed you, I'm getting on Tuesday. But the mount I'm not getting until next week.
Right.
And that, I can't think of what that is right now. I can find out real quick.
That pet people are gonna go nuts over that, dude.
Yes, they are.
I've seen them, man. They're not cheap.
That's the other one. And that was a price thing, so.
Yeah, that's nice. That's real nice.
So you see the mount, you see the pet. And if there's anything else we can think of.
I got one thing to add here. Hold on.
Okay. Well, of course, that.
It's like how I built that suspense up.
Well, I gotta put that in the freaking notes. I do want to make a recording for Road today about that contest we're holding. Like, where's Drive? Okay, so there's Drive. Ta-da. Oh, whatever. I don't want full screen. So let's see. There's Linkin Park. There's that. There's that.
I'm kind of excited about that now. Come on now.
And there's the pumpkin carving contest. And some Gold Queen. I think that will make for a good show.
Overwatch?
Yep, a little bit of Overwatch. A little bit of serious esports stuff going on.
Yeah, what the hell?
And that's going to be a big update there on my end, because when I put that up on the Bridge of Sports podcast, there was only 2. And now that number's up to 12.
I've seen that.
And a lot more details. A lot more details than what I first seen. Oh, I think a kitty is right up in my window. Kitty can't get in. But I could probably scare him away. That would just be bad.
I could scare him away.
Kitty!
Click, click.
Click, click. Oh, he's looking right at me, too. Or she, whatever. Let's see if she runs.
You know how to scare a group of gangsters with a cat? You pick the cat up by the tail, and while they're not looking, you spin it vigorously above your head. It sounds just like a cop car siren.
Yeah, I just walked right over to the window. Just put my foot down real hard, and away that cat went.
Joe, the terror of kitty cats.
Yay. Okay. Off with the TV. No more distractions.
That chin.
Yep.
Pandafi Wanja
I should go to there.
Suda Shingbea
This is what Miyagi would sound like if he was the Pandaren.
Shangfui Liu Long
Hey, we give you a quick shot of advice.
Okay.
Don't set your navigation in Toyota. I hit you a turn. What?
That's good. That movie's coming.
No, I hadn't set on my navigation, and it was not good. I had to turn it off. Left you will turn ahead. What?
Alright, let's do that one. No, not that one. Not that one. Not that one. Not that one.
Su Wihu Iguan Bia Denga Shiji Lu Longo Ki Shumeni Shao
Okay, there's a tweeter for the pre-show. Boom, boom, boom. ready to go. Which, oh crap, by the way. Alpha Geek Radio. Boom. Gotta go to channel 2 and I gotta get that one up. Settings right there, good. And I can leave that for a good couple minutes. Okay, good. But I also need my soundboard, which would be good to have up. That one, then we go to that one. Cool. Okay. I'm gonna hook up Alpha Geek Radio. Just like that. There's Alpha Geek Radio, as we are on right now. Haha! And 13 hours of recording time on the recorder, so we're good there. Cool.
Yeah.
That's how we do it, yo.
Yeah, I don't think my wife will like me going 13 hours, but I'm up
There is no way I'm going 13 hours.
I can do it, yo. Don't challenge me.
I know better than to challenge a sniper. It's loss every time.
I'm more of a machine gun guy than a sniper.
Doesn't matter. You know how to fire a firearm.
Yes, sir.
See, and that's the music for you right here. When you got a firearm in your hand, right there.
No.
No.
No. You're a little off.
Okay, fine.
You're just a hair off. I could show you.
Just a hair off, he says.
Yes.
All right. It's time to go. I think Rickle's still sleeping, so.
Yeah, he was saying he didn't feel good earlier. We were trying to do an achievement, and he said he didn't feel good, so
was
he
like,
said
nah. Alrighty. So, let's see. Let's do that. So, drives up good. Good. Let's go do the tweet first. Which means that's out. That. Not like that, no.
Gee, you think in this 48 gigs of music that I have, I'd be able to find the song I want.
There's too many songs. Too many songs. And
Here
there
it
we go.
is.
There we go.
This is me when I'm shooting.
Aha. Nice.
That or
Or that one.
my favorite band, man.
Nice. Alright. It is time, I think. So I shall hit record. And then we shall go. Aha.
Okay, I need to retweet these tweets here.
Alright, go for it. You got about almost a minute, so here we go. This show is a part of the Bumblebee Network. You can find out more information about this show or the network at bumblebeenet.com. That is BUMBLEB net.com.
The following is a Black Swamp Studio production.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Wow Money Podcast, show number 145. My name is Joe, and with me is Dead Greed.
What's up? What's up? It's your man, Dead Greed.
Oh, yes, lots of talk today. There is some good stuff going on. Always wait till the music finishes. It's all
Sure.
good. Yep, there's no Lady Hava. She's busy doing stuff around the house. And Reckles is out because he's not feeling too good. Oh, well.
It's time for progressions.
So what you been doing this week there, Dead Greed?
Well, you know, Greed's been playing the Diablo. I did do some stuff. I worked on. They got these seasonal journeys. I've been working on it. I was trying to get my run a greater Rift 40 without using any set bonuses. So I knew I wanted to do that. So I've been saving up like all this ancient gear that's not part of a set. I finally had a full set, so I threw all that on, and whoo, that was hard. The first time I missed it by like 5 seconds. The second time I missed it, I guarantee you the guy died right as the timer expired. And the third time I had 30 seconds left when I did beat it. So that was awesome.
That's cool.
And then me and Reckles decided that we were going to turn it up to Torment 10 and run a Torment 10 Rift in 3 minutes. And whoo, I think we worked on that. I think we did 30 runs, and then we finally got it. It was just a matter of walking in the correct door where there was enough mobs to kill fast enough, because 3 minutes is not a lot of time, let me tell you. 3 minutes goes by mighty, mighty fast when you're trying to kill an entire Rift worth of stuff, and then the Guardian, and then you also had to teleport back to town and turn it in before the 3-minute timer clicks.
Oh no!
So what we were doing was like, if you get to the Guardian and you get him down to about 30%, one of us would teleport back and the other one would finish. So we were cutting every corner we could. I mean, trust me, I was sweating when we were doing that. I haven't felt like that about video games in a long time. You know, WoW's great, and I love WoW, and I've played for 10 years, and I love making money, and you know, it's a lot of fun. But it's nothing that hasn't been nothing like that in a long time, where I'm literally just sitting on the edge of my seat, sweating. Your palms are sweaty, your face, you got sweat coming off your face. I mean, you're
right.
And really, D3's doing that for me right now. It's just, gosh dang, and I can't wait. I can't wait. November, come on, Blizzard, give me something good.
Yep, that's coming here in 2 weeks. Good old BlizzCon. Oh man, I cannot wait either.
What have you been doing in the last week?
In the last week, I have been running a lot of Heroes of the Storm. I'm done with Hearthstone till next month because I get up to Raid Leader, and I know that if I lose that, I'm going to be not too happy. So I'm going to try and stay out of Hearthstone there for a while. I did pick up Stitches for 7,000 gold in Heroes of the Storm. So now I'm just running missions and quests and that. And I've also been playing a little bit of WildStar since that went free to play. So I know there's a lot of similarities between the two games of WildStar and WoW. But there's some interesting stuff going on in there. But outside of that, just regular Garrison stuff and stuff. But we did speak about BlizzCon there, didn't we?
Oh, you know, like 2 weeks ago, I was thinking, who in the heck? I mean, really, Metallica was just, oh my god. So anyway.
Yeah, Metallica was awesome.
So I'm still high-fiving myself from last year's Metallica concert. That was just the best ever. Greed really loved that. And I was really just stumped in my head, like, you know, there was somebody was saying AC/DC, but that would have been okay. But really, oh my god, then I freaking opened up MMO Champion and I seen it.
You seen it?
Oh.
You seen it?
Get your news from the land of Azeroth. Here, get your news.
Well, I saw it on Blizzard Watch, and they said...
Just in case, Joe, you don't know. Just in case you don't know, I'm kind of excited about this year's closing concert.
It's Linkin Park.
I would not have thought of that. Hey, let me tell you, if Blizzard could just find more ways to get me excited and let me throw more money at them, this is one of them right here, let me tell you.
Right there. So, this is going to wrap up BlizzCon. What do you think about Linkin Park wrapping this show up?
Oh, really? Hey, I want to give Messon an internet high five right now. Really? Yeah, thank you. I cannot wait for this. I wish I would have went this year, because I would have been... Yeah. I have never seen I've seen Metallica in concert before. Who hadn't done that? I've never seen Linkin Park concert. I kind of would like to. I would like to go to BlizzCon. So if anybody's got a large bag where I can, you can stuff me in and send me to BlizzCon so that I can roll up and check out the Linkin Park.
You need a ticket too. You gotta have that ticket.
I don't know about that. I mean, if I rolled to BlizzCon and Mets would see me, I mean, he'd be like, "All right, it's Greed.
Come
We
on
know
in.
you ain't got a ticket, but just come on in."
Come on in. It's the last show. Why not? We'll bring everybody in.
Well, maybe he wouldn't. Maybe he'd be
Yeah.
like, "Who the hell is this guy?"
Who knows? But that's why we have the virtual ticket. So if we're not there, we can still watch it on the virtual ticket, which that's what I'm going to do. Outside of checking out AIE on Alpha Geek Radio. But, yeah, well, Alpha Geek Radio is going to be there, but I don't think that hall's going to be... I don't think anybody's going to be in that hall. I think they're all going to be checking out Linkin Park. Seriously.
Hey, just one thing real quick. I just had a thought.
Okay.
When you're talking about the AIE and all that stuff, Scott is going to do their live show there, right?
Yes, he is.
So in case y'all don't know, Scott, or, who I said Scott Johnson, he does the instance. If y'all ain't listening to the instance, Jesus, turn this little podcast off and go listen to that, because that's way better.
No. Wait till after this podcast is done. Then go check out the instance.
Okay, well, listen to us and then go listen to the instance.
Yes.
The instance is a great show. They're one of the big reasons why I've been to podcast anyway. And yeah, I always really enjoy their live shows because they always have a lot of. I don't know how they get so many guests. It's amazing.
Well, because it's Scott.
Yeah.
It's essentially.
Just saying.
Yep. Now, one of the things also going on at BlizzCon, there will be some Overwatch there, but they released something before BlizzCon. That Overwatch will have a voice chat. So, how do you think that's going to fare with all the people that use Mumble, that use Skype?
Yeah, here's the deal for me, and this may not even be a thing, but for me, the way I look at this is, it's I play a lot of different games, and I use a lot of different. I use Mumble, I got Skype, I got TeamSpeak. We got all that stuff. And like today, I was in Mumble with Reckles, and then we switched Mumbles because there was another person who can't be on that Mumble. So then we switched Mumbles to get a 3-man team going, and then there was a fourth guy. So he didn't have Mumble, so we had to switch again. And I think this, if we had the BattleNet, if it's good, if it's as good as like Mumble or TeamSpeak or what's out there, and Blizzard always does a great job, so I really don't see that they would put something out that's not as good as the others.
Game is different than voice.
Yeah,
I just want to make that point.
Yeah, but this is from your BattleNet. It's not an in-game thing. It's from your BattleNet.
For right now, they're going to keep it to Overwatch. They don't know at this point if they're going to use it in other games. So
yeah, it has great potential, I think. So this would just solve some of my problems with, okay, I got friends in this guild, I got friends in that guild, I got friends over here in this clan, I got friends that just play Heroes of the Storm. They all have different chats. Some people don't have Skype, some people don't have this. Some people aren't allowed on some Mumbles. So if you just had one controlled, like BattleNet voice chat, where if you're playing, you can just come talk to me and it doesn't matter, that would be awesome.
So what games really could this voice chat go into after Overwatch?
Every game. I hope it goes BattleNet wide. I really do, because every game I've played with every game I've ever played of Blizzard's, it's always better with voice chat. If you're playing WoW, you got a raiding team, or even if you're not raiding, if you're just sitting in your garrison and you want to talk to your friends, it's great. Just get you a voice chat, VS with your buddies. If even Hearthstone, you could, when you're playing your decks of cards, you could talk about it, or you could just talk to your buddies and have a better time than you're already having.
Okay, so we're both agreed on WoW. Overwatch is like no duh. I think StarCraft,
Oh yeah,
Diablo.
definitely.
I think right now everything but Hearthstone, because that is a solo player game. And since it's a solo player game, there's no sense in having that chat unless you want to talk to your BattleNet friends, which would be the only reason. So really, I don't see that for Hearthstone. I see it for every other game that they have.
I'm only saying that it could be useful for any game that Blizzard has. I mean, like I said, Overwatch, yeah. All the games, yeah. If you're running a Greater Rift in Diablo, you have to have some kind of communication, just like raiding or just doing a 5-man dungeon or whatever. And I understand Hearthstone, it's a single player, like you're saying, but when you're going over your decks, you can talk to people about your decks, like, hey, I got this thing here, and what do you think? Could help you.
Well, especially there for Diablo, but even there for StarCraft 2, because you have an Arcanon mode. So you can actually go 2v2. Could you actually do it there for Hearthstone? Only if they allow like 2v2 or 3v3 teams, which really, I could see that happening. But I don't know. We'll see when it actually comes out. We'll see about the quality and all that stuff. Now, speaking of StarCraft and esports, when I was on the Bridge of Sports podcast on Tuesday, I said that there were 2 people that were arrested in this match-fixing scandal. That number has gone up to 12. Gerard, I want to say that's Bong Bong and Yoda. Those are 3 of the 12. So what happened was, this is what's going on in South Korea. And I'm going to read this as what the report says. The Changwon Regional Prosecutor's Office announced the arrest of 12 individuals in connection with the match-fixing and illegal betting in StarCraft 2, including Prime head coach Gerard and programmers Yoda and Bong Bong. No other programmers or coaching staff has been implicated. Brokers and financial backers were also arrested, including former programmer and esports journalist Enough, who acted as a broker. The 2 financial backers who paid brokers to attempt to fix matches were gangsters with ties to organized crime. The team called Prime, after this, disbanded. So my first question goes this way. Right now, there is no news as to what these individual players, or what their plans are. So, should they go to other teams, or should they form a team themselves?
I don't know, because this is a pretty big deal.
This is huge.
To me, in Korea. You're fixing stuff. You're in trouble. You're in some legal issues there. I don't think they're going to be playing very much.
Yeah, right now, there's no trial date set. But 12 people have been incarcerated.
Wow.
That's huge.
I can't believe. Like, I was looking at some of the matches they said that they fixed, and I mean, there's a long list. I can't believe that it's that many matches got fixed over that long a period of time without no one figuring it out. Well, I guess they did figure it out.
Well, eventually they did, but it took some time. The matches were done in 2015, at least what is listed here. Bong Bong and Flash, that was one. Say Code S, Row 16 versus Life. Code A, Rod 4, and DRG. Code S, RO 32, and Byung. And Yoda and Hero. That's going from January 20th all the way out to July 9th of 2015. So you're looking at almost 6 months of that going on.
Now, I know some of those people got banned for life, right?
Yeah, they were banned from the league that they were in.
Yeah, the Korean Esports Association.
Yep, the Korean Esports Association, and I'm looking. I read it before, and just all that information just goes in one ear, or basically in one ear, out the other. But I knew that I had it. I think that they were banned for life, as I recall it.
Yeah, there's a deal on it says Gerald, Bong Bong, and Yoda for participating were banned for life.
Is that really... Is that severe enough of a punishment? Is that not severe enough, or is that too severe?
You know, I was just thinking that, esports is just now getting off the ground. And all it's going to take is a few people to run it. It's just now getting to where it's getting to be excited.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people are getting into this, and then you get something like this where it puts bad taste in people's mouth. These people cheating, they need to bounce, and they don't ever need to come back, in my opinion. If you can't win a game, if you ain't got the skill and you can't win a game without cheating, you don't need to play.
Well, that's the thing. This is kind of like boxing to me. So maybe these gangsters came in and said, in order for us to make money, we want you to throw this match. And I think that's what happened. It's not so much, trying to make people win. It's trying to make people lose. Because that way, Gerard and Yoda, that's how they made money. Not because they won, but because they lost. And really what brought on this investigation was the players and the team that they're with, the organization that they're with, they were not getting paid. So I think that was the catalyst of this investigation.
To me, it's still all just a bad stink. It's just people cheating. I don't like it. I just want to sit down and I want to watch a great match between great people. That's what these tournaments are about. And I just want to get in there and just watch a great team, or just watch a great play. That's what I want. That's what I want out of these matches.
Agreed. But when the sport is on the rise like this, like what esports is, you're going to have stuff like this. So
Yeah, unfortunate.
it is. So what should Blizzard do? Because now we're coming up on BlizzCon 2 weeks from now. What should they do in reaction to this?
Oh, I'm telling you, these people, these guys hung up on this cheating. Like I said, they need to bounce. They don't need to come back. If I was Blizzard, they would not be invited. If those people are number 1, 2, and 3, I would have the number 4, 5, and 6 people on my panel, because that's just a statement. That's just saying something. That's saying something to the community. If you cheat, you ain't gonna be with me. Peace. That's all there is to it. That's the way I feel in any game. That's the same thing with Diablo. Right now, I don't know if you know, but in Diablo, a lot of people are botting.
Well, they do it in WoW too, but...
Oh yeah, but it's real bad in Diablo right now. And I am glad, because Diablo did take the number 1 witch doctor down. He played 24 hours a day since the season opened for several months. I mean, come on, really?
There's no way to do it. No way to humanly do it. So...
Yeah, he's been playing 24 hours a day for the last couple months. Really? That's a little much, don't you think?
Yeah, that is.
So anyway, he's not on the ladder no more. Watch, I'm glad. But yeah, just I think when Blizzard finds people cheating, they ban them. And if you get caught cheating, if you're out there, you're playing whatever game you're playing, if you're out there and you're botting right now, and you're cheating, and you get caught, guess whose fault that is? It ain't Blizzard's fault. It ain't whoever's fault. It's your fault, because you're the one that was botting. Just like these people here in this esports, they threw games, or they were betting illegally, or they were fixing games or matching games or whatever. Guess whose fault that is? It ain't this guy's fault or that guy's fault. It's their fault, and therefore their punishment should be banned. Peace.
Gone and out the door.
The only thing we really got is reputation, especially online. I mean, really, the only thing you got is reputation. Online, no one knows who you are. They only know me. They only know me because I'm Greed. That's the only thing they know. So, if I got caught cheating, people should say, hey, that dude was cheating. I'm not going to check that dude out no more.
Nah,
of course, I don't cheat, so that ain't going to happen. But I'm just saying, if you load a bot onto your computer and you start botting or you start cheating or you start fixing matches, you're running that risk. Just like if you're doing anything else illegal, you're running that risk, and there's going to be consequences if you get caught. And if you go ahead and do the action, then what you're saying is, hey, if I get caught, whatever consequences I have to suffer, it's okay.
And I think that Blizzard should do about anything that they can, along with all these different esports contests, that would include drug testing for speed, and taking a look at something like this, because shaving, match fixing,
what does that
is
do
a big thing.
to the average player who doesn't cheat? These guys are way up in the. These guys ain't just average players. These guys are professionals. What is that good? How if the professionals of this market is cheating, how is the non-professional guy who just likes to play a couple hours a day? How are you ever going to compete? Never. You'll never be able to compete. That's what makes me mad about that.
Never. and that's true. So really, Blizzard's going to have to take a big time look at this, along with every single esports game out there, to make sure their security is up to par. So we'll see what goes on there. But we need to bring this back a little bit.
Yeah, you know me, man. I get on the thing, and that's how it is.
Well, you know what? This is a big thing, and like I said, BlizzCon's coming, and people need to be ready. But there's a different type of person needs to be ready for this. The Halloween pumpkin carving contest is up and going. We've seen the pictures from the past few years. What are you looking forward to be carved out of a pumpkin this year, Dead Greed?
Well, I did see a Cheerio that was carved, and man, that thing looked glorious. But people are always so creative with these. I just want to, just like the esports, I just want to see good carvings. I mean, it's just, if you got one, hey, even if you've just done one for your living room and you're not actually entering it in the contest, heck, throw it up on Twitter so I can check it out. Those things are cool.
I would say a Gul'dan with not a red flame, not your typical flame behind it, but a green flame behind it.
Well, that would be good.
That would be good. A nicely detailed Gul'dan with a green flame.
There's one thing I gotta say about that, though. I got a little orc fatigue. Let's do something other than an orc.
All right. How about Illidan?
I could do Illidan. I would be full swing for Illidan. Like I said, I got the orc fatigue. I mean, come on. I know Messin loves orcs, but really?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I got a bit of the orc. I got the bit of the wild fatigue too, which is why I'm only in about once a day for 20 minutes or so. But yeah, having Illidan, there's going to be some blood elves, some dark elves. Or, I'm sorry, some night elves, Alliance and Horde.
I seen a really good one. It was been many years ago, but I seen a really good one. It was Blizzard's. It was Blizzard's logo, but it wasn't.
Yeah.
It wasn't the same logo you always seen. It was part of the Blizzard logo with like a blizzard storm coming down at the logo. It looked awesome. Like I said, people are really creative, and I like art. I like watching, or I like seeing things like that. Don't give me a knife and tell me to carve a pumpkin, because
it ain't gonna happen.
It's not. I don't know how these people do those things. Yeah, it's just, I like seeing stuff like that. It's when you look at those, like that Tyrael. I don't know. That Tyrael's pretty popular right now. The Tyrael and the pumpkin. It's pretty popular. So when you look at that, I'm sitting there thinking, like, man, how the hell did that person do that? Because that's awesome. I mean, perfect looking. It's great.
Yeah, that is pretty good. That is pretty good. We will see what happens.
Now it's time for the classroom. Advice on making gold via the auction house, professions, and more.
So, anyway, I know we're waiting to see what professions are going to be there at BlizzCon 2.
No, I am pretty excited about that. Everybody knows, I've always been into money making in WoW, and you can make money in many different ways. But for me, the most enjoyable way to make money is to utilize my professions. That's why I have so many alts, so that way I can use different cooldowns for different professions in order to gather more materials and put it in the auction house and crush the auction house. Of course, I was big time Wrath, Kata, and Mr. Pandaria, big time jewelry. Just JC crushing. I would spend 8 hours a day minimum crushing gems. The professions to me has been such a huge thing. So I can't wait to see expansion in BlizzCon what I can't wait to see what they're going to do about it.
Yeah, not in this expansion. They kind of crushed professions in this expansion. But yeah,
well,
I can't wait to see.
I think the intention was good. It's just
right.
sometimes you put something on paper and it looks like a really good idea, but it really doesn't play out that way. And I think that's kind of what's happened here in the garrison.
Transmogs looks like they're going to be making a comeback, though, in Legion, so we'll see what happens. But I do want to give out a little bit of news. The Gold Queen has launched her email gold making course. So, what do you think about that?
Well, I become more and more of a fan of the Gold Queen. She's really
awesome.
does a great job.
Yes, she does. Yes, she does. And I will put a link up as to, say, that article, and I think that does put up a link to how you can sign up to her emails, I think. Yes, it does. So, yep, that will be up there in the show. That'll be up there in the show notes.
I think she said she had like 136 people sign up already, which is great. That's awesome.
136 people in the first 24 hours.
Oh,
that's pretty good. That's pretty good.
That's excellent.
But she also put up how to steal a snatch list. Is this even legal? Now she's talking about TSM groups. But what she did was she found out who was selling what on her realm and who was the top sellers in her realm. So she found out what people were selling and she took the list, essentially. So, if you had Trade Skill Master, would you be doing this?
This is smart. I don't know if I would do it or not. Because I run my own thing, so I'm not exactly sure if snagging what somebody else is snagging is going to really help me just because I have my own thing. This is smart, though. I mean, wow. It's like I said, every time she shocks me a lot because, I mean, I've been making gold for a long time. And
right.
She comes up with ideas that I never thought of, which is, I gotta say, genius. High five, internet high five to the Gold Queen, because she's this is good stuff.
Now, within the poster, she did protect the name of the person, which is very smart. But she was looking at a bunch of some wicked stuff and a spider belt pattern. I should say spider belt pattern. A lot of good stuff. And also a auction add-ons installer. That I think is for the robot for the garrison, for the auctioneer for the garrison, if I'm not mistaken. So what do you think about some of the things on this list that she has? Because of stealing.
I mean, it's just I don't know if stealing is
the right word for it, or
yeah, I don't know if stealing's I mean, it ain't like you're stealing their items, or they're not
right. You're more borrowing their lists.
Well, you're more copying their lists.
Yes.
If you stole my phone, I wouldn't have my phone anymore. But if you borrowed
Very
it
true.
and made a copy of it, I would still have my phone.
And
well,
I would have a copy of your
if
phone.
stealing's the right word. I mean, I guess that's a good classification.
Well, that's how she classified her post as stealing, because maybe she thinks that's what she's doing is stealing. But
Sneaky,
really,
sneaky.
it's
I like
not. It's not stealing, really. It's copying a snatch list. Because that person would have that list that she's copying off of. Now, she does go through kind of the steps. But I'll let everybody read that. Anyway, I think that's all that we got for the show, sir.
You know, one thing I was going to say about this
Go for it.
is this would work on a lot of people, but not greed.
Why not?
Because it says right here you can search his auctions and find out what he's posting. Well, not necessarily. Because
Okay.
if you're not level 10, your information's not out there.
And that is possible.
And I don't use the same character. I have a complex of characters that I use. So, but a lot of people,
Well-
I guess, a lot of people just use the same character all the time. I guess.
Well, I think what's going on here is you're not going to a WoW site, you're going to tradeskillmaster.com.
Okay.
So, if you're looking on top sellers, which is what she is showing here, then yeah, that information, that personal information might not be available, but maybe the auctions would be. I'm not too certain about the third-party sites, but because essentially
Well,
that's
I don't
what
know, I'm
Trade
not-
Master is. But
Everybody here knows I'm not a TSM guy. I want to get into it sometime. Right now, I got other things going on, and it's just one of those things.
yeah, that's cool. That's cool.
Maybe
One.
Legion. Maybe Legion.
Maybe Legion. Maybe Legion. We might show you here soon. Hint, hint. Maybe. But anyway, as to soon, Show 150 is coming. And I did make a couple of payments. So I'm going to get some cards, and I will reveal them. Not next week, but I think in 2 weeks. So if you're interested in receiving some codes, you can go to Twitter and use the hashtag YWMTCG for Show 150.
All right, people, it's time to end the podcast now. So, how can the players get a hold of you?
Think you're going to get those pets?
Me?
Pets or mounts?
Hashtag greed wins.
That's what he thinks.
Look, my money's on greed.
Your money's on greed, huh?
That's it.
All right.
It's got to happen.
It's got to happen. All right, start us out.
Alright. You can find the show live at 3 p.m. on Channel 2, or you can tune in to the alphageekradio.com
And
Or
on the
whatever.
TuneIn app.
on the TuneIn app.
Yep.
That one.
That one. And you can find us live on bumblebeenet.com/live at 2:30 p.m. on Saturdays.
And if you don't want to listen to us live because we're too awesome to be live, then you can hear us on Stitcher, iTunes, and where all other podcasts are found.
And if you're on the site, you can use the speak pipe on the bottom of the page. You can find us on Twitter at YourWowMoney, Facebook at YourWowMoneyCast, and at linkedin.com/n/YourWowMoney.
Hey, you can find Lady Hava at twitchtv.ladyhava or at ladyhava at yourwowmoney.com.
And you can find Reckles on youtube.com/WTBGoldWow, or you could follow him at Ryan A. Eccles.
You can find the glorious Dead Greed on Twitter at DeadGreed1812 and on Twitch at twitchtv/DeadGreed1812.
And you can find me on youtube.com/Joe Brums, at Joe Brums on Twitter. Joe at yourwowmoney.com is the email address. And you can follow the network on Twitter at BumblebeeNet. And you can support us on patreon.com/BBNet. The pet is coming and the mount is coming, and I cannot wait.
Yeah.
I cannot wait. But
Big things on the horizon.
indeed, lots of good stuff. And once you get them, you can do whatever you want with them. Just not that. Just not that. Oh, bad stuff going on.
I had a great idea for contest rules. One of the rules is if you win, you gotta give it to Greed.
Uh-huh. I think it's time to go.
Alright.
We'll see you guys next week. Say bye.
Bye-bye.
As what Yoda says, you will fail.
This podcast recorded before a live internet audience. To learn how to listen and watch live, visit tunein.alphageekradio.com.
Great show, Joe.
And we're done.
Alright, good show, brother.
That was good. That was good. I think if we had Reckles in that esports discussion would have been a lot longer.
Yeah, I mean, you know, I don't like that it happened. I'm not into the whole, and I like to watch it.
I think on the positive end, it kind of shows how big esports actually is now.
I kind of thought about that when I was talking about it.
Yeah, it's kind of a good thing, but that's about the only good thing in that whole bad situation.
I hope they sling them up, though, because I don't like cheating. Like, just personally, when it comes to Diablo, the whole body thing, a guy like me, I can only play, 10 or 12 hours a day. If I'm really just going to put down to it. And there's no way. I was on the rig when the season released. I missed the first 2 days. I came back. People were like Paragon 400 when I hit the freaking. I was already 400 Paragon behind before I even started. Now I know it's my deal because I had to work or whatever. I was gone. I understand. I didn't get it. I didn't get it started at the same time. But even if I started the same minute that those people started, I can't play 24 hours a day. So there's no way I can keep. It just, to me, it sucks.
Yeah, I'd say that it does suck, but
with that said, I am very, very close to taking out the number 1,000 person on the leaders board.
Go
Very
for it.
close.
I think what I'll do is I'll alert Blizzard via email and kind of let them be notified about that. So that way, granted, there's like 2 weeks, and they might not be ready, but we'll see.
Yeah, well.
We'll see. All right, so we got Alpha Geek Radio for the next half hour to spend with what we want to spend with.
The guy that's 1,000 on the
Yeah.
that's the guy that's 1,000 on the leaderboard, Witch Doctor, for solo greater rifts, does not have as good a gear as me, but he only has about 200 more Paragon levels than me. I'm very, very close to getting him.
That person must be very skilled. Plus, watch your ears. Yeah, about 6 or 7 notes right there.
Yeah,
Actually, I can get rid of that, but yes, duh. Okay, save changes. Ho ho. And I will record something there for Ro once I'm done with this. Because I know he's heading out to BlizzCon, and I want to make something, well, actually for Ro, for the Converted podcast, and at least the official AIE podcast. Maybe I can get that out to Scott Johnson too, but we'll see.
put it on the converted too, brother.
Well, like I said, Converted, AIE,
Oh, I didn't hear you
and
say
Scott.
converted. Sorry.
Yeah, yeah. They'll all have it. All of them.
All of them.
They must all have it, whether they like it or not.
Kicked out the jacket, Dollar of Brilliance.
Well, see, I have emails of like some of the bigger ones. I mean, real maintenance, I better have it.
Well, if you want it, it's dollaranbrilliance@gmail.com. Is their email anyway?
I need to mute that. Dun, dum dum. Okay, let me see if I can put that in somewhere. I wonder if I don't have... Okay, so can I add some?
You know this little white sign that says like BlizzCon, Linkin Park?
Yeah?
I think when you click that, it should just start playing Linkin Park songs. I used to.
Okay, so...
We had a PSYOP speaker with us when we was in Iraq, and they had huge speakers, and we'd hook our iPad or our iPods up to them, and we'd play like whatever we wanted to play. We played a lot of Linkin Park, man.
And you know, with all the different raid groups and raid teams, they're gonna play all of that hardcore, headbanging type music to their videos, which is why the Converted podcast cannot run some of those videos, which is unfortunate. But whatever. I want to try and add Dollar on Brilliance into my Google. I'm not sure where to do that at. No. Careful, we're still streaming.
Oh man, I love it.
That is a good one.
I do think that was a good choice for the concert.
I do that.
I think Linkin Park's they got the kind of music that even if you don't really know who they are, you can still listen to them.
Right.
Well, anyway, we got
What else event
Christ
poll?
Fest. We got Christ Fest tonight, so woohoo.
Go for it.
Halloween festival. I'm gonna go as a
Halloween
roughneck,
festival.
actually.
Say dollar on.
Oh, is there an email? They're also on Twitter at. It's not Dollar on Brilliance. Because Dollar on Brilliance is too long on Twitter. I'd have to look it up.
At Gmail. And let's say BALARAN. Save that. Boom. Okay, so now I got that saved.
You need their Twitter.
No, their email will be just fine. So maybe I can send them one.
There you go.
Okay, so since my Gmail's up, whoops. I don't want that yet. I don't want to send Blizzard an email until the podcast is up, so because that wouldn't be smart of me. Hey, you should go listen to this episode. Oh crap. It's not up yet. So let's go YWM 145. There we go. Alright, I'm going to end the call because I got to edit the show, make sure everything sounds good,
Alright.
so
I
that
have
way you
thought,
don't hear anything.
Do it later.
Have fun tonight.
Oh yeah.
And that means I am going to end both feeds. So, Alpha Geek Radio, goodbye. And to everybody watching on the stream, we'll see you next week.